Yes, it's Wayne live and direct. In this episode, we're going to sort the suspension out for good. Let's have it. Here we go again. Now the top arm's in, positioned. No drama here. Let's get it. Now another long bolt goes in. A little bit awkward.
Let's go.
But now it's in place. Counter held with the 18mm until it can be taught to spec. Respect. As we been down the top, now we're at the bottom. Satisfying click of the torque wrench. Ha! Don't wind me up. Don't wind me up. And it's the same again. Easy does it. And click. Now remember the headlight level sensor from before. Push it through the hole and secure. 110mm bolt from the top. Hand tight. There it is. Hand tight. Now we're moving. And now the underside, we got a 10mm nut. Screw it on. Nice, safe and secure. We only intend to be under here one time. We may as well clean it. Cleanliness is close to godliness. Let's get it. Now with a spring in our step, we can carry on. Let's go. Now the old disc had to come off. I don't know if you remember from before, but these discs were grooved and drilled. We don't want no downgrade. We stick with the upgrade. And whilst we're here, we'll clean off any surface rust. Any means necessary. Out come the big guns. Spanking job. Bit of isopropyl alcohol to clean off any dust. Trust. Now, seeing as the car had been sat before, we got to clean off the surface rust from inside the disc. That way, the handbrake shoes will bite into metal and not rust. Copper grease on the hub will ensure in future, when the disc is changed, there's no problems with it being seized. Forward planning. Up here for thinking, down here for dancing. Yeah. Little grub screws back on. And onto the caliper carrier. Not much to see here, just 2 hench bolts. Standard. Wind it in by hand and then tighten up with a ratchet. Let's get it. And then the caliper. Same again. Wind it in by hand. And then ratchet tightly. You didn't really think I was going to leave the trailing arm bolts hand tight, did ya? Nah, let's talk them up. Onto the drive shaft bolts again. Now, as I said before, we stick a screwdriver between the disc and the caliper carrier. Tighten up the bolt, remove, rotate, repeat. Back inside, I can stretch my back and stand up for a bit. And we need to remove this carpet to get to the strut top tower. I'm guessing this trim has to come off. It's almost like one piece is covering another piece that's covering another piece. After looking closely, this back panel needs to come off first. That will give us access to pull off the side panels, and then we can get to the carpet. Just a handful of screws to remove here, and it's job done. Here's the aforementioned trim. Pops off nicely. Bit of manhandling of the carpet. And now we're there. Almost. And there we have it. Access, finally. Couple of bolts here and the whole strut will drop out. So here's the strut. We need to counter hold the shaft and undo the larger bolt to remove the top mount, as this needs to go on the replacement shock. Undid that like a boss. Here's the new shocks. Direct replacement. Always buy in pairs when you're replacing the shocks. You don't want an uneven handling of your vehicle. Pop out the retaining wire, and I guess this shock was happy to see me. Pop the bump stop back on, and it's reversal with removal. Pay attention. Watch it. Now we're going to tighten the top mount back to the shock. Everything looking good. Or does it? Slide the shock back up into place.
If you hitch kicked and then you kind of did that and then a barrel turn and then you know.
Now take a look at this shock absorber. The shaft you see here is supposed to return. This one's clearly goosed. Now the job of the shock absorber is to control the rebound of the spring. If you didn't have one, your car would be bouncing on for a while. That would leave you feeling nauseous after a bit. Now on this RC car, we're going to demonstrate what would happen without a shock.
Yeah.
Bouncy, bouncy. And again. You see it? Here's what it'd be like with the shock absorber. Bounce and return to level. And again. Show some love for my Focus RC car. Inside. Just jacking things up so the hub hole meets the strut hole. Long bolt time. Nip it up. Don't forget to torque it. We don't want nothing falling out. Tighten up the top mounts. Everything's straightforward here. That'll do ya. Now we got a replacement anti-roll bar link. Easiest way, bit of washing up liquid on the rubber and on the shaft, slide it on and position. Just like that. Now we can drive that top arm bolt straight in. One thing to bear in mind, make sure the whole assembly is jacked up. This will simulate the weight of the vehicle on the rubber bushings, ensuring that you have no squeaking once it's back on the ground. Ask me how I know this. Now we can let the vehicle back down and get the bolt in place for the anti-roll bar link. Quite a joy to work on this car as everything seems to be accessible. Little bit of persuasion just to get the bolt through. And the nut on the other side. Nip it up. Now onto the passenger side, we're going to repeat what we just did. Wheel bolts off. Sharp tug, wheel off. Shock undone, another long bolt. That thump you just heard was the strut on the other side falling out. Now if you look when I was disassembling the strut, you could see this large washer. On reassembly, I put this on first, and I even put the top mount upside down, as the studs were facing downwards. Anyway, this would have allowed the rubber bush to flex and collapse under the weight of the wheel. Tiredness doesn't help. But a mistake is only a mistake if you don't learn from it. Let's go. Strut removed. Onto the top mount. You can see the large washer and what it does, stopping the rubber from going through the body mount. Be sure to hold the strut tightly. Don't want this to fall into the floor like the other side. Although technically, it didn't hit the floor. Same again. Remove the top mount bolt, keeping the shaft in place. We got things done a bit quicker this time. No mistakes. I told you I learned. Happy strut. Quick tings. That's how we do it. And it's back in. Washer in the correct place this time. Hell yeah. Jack it up. Put a long bolt back in. Easy. Slap the wheel back on. Put the foam sound deadening back. And a carpet. Trim back in, couple of taps just to seat it. Double check these bolts. I was a bit nervous. Other trim back in. It's all coming together. And the middle trim piece back in place. Yeah, we're on a roll. Now with the mechanical work complete, I'm going to call this video. On the next one, we're going to get cracking with the bodywork. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bless up.